Hello, I'm Ryan Mulholland, and welcome to Talk of the Town, the show where we talk to your government leaders in the town of North Hempstead. Today, we are pleased to be joined by the Receiver of Taxes for the town of North Hempstead, Charles Berman. Charlie, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
It's great to have you. So, Charlie, can you tell us a little bit about your career in public service, kind of how you got started off and positions that you've held previously?
Yeah, certainly. I went into public service as a second career. I was in business for 20 years, but this has been in my family. My mother was a state senator, and I grew up in this, and it's something I always wanted to do. So I had the opportunity about 15 years ago to get appointed deputy town clerk for the town of Oyster Bay. It was a wonderful job. It was a wonderful experience. I got to do that for almost 4 years, and during my fourth year there, I actually had an opportunity to come to North Hempstead as Deputy Receiver of Taxes. And I was working in the office for Mrs. Galante, who had to step down before the end of her term. So May Newberger and the town board appointed me acting Receiver of Taxes in 2003. So I've actually been, working in the property tax field since that time. Following that short period in North Hempstead, I worked in Nassau County in the Department of Assessment. I was the assistant to the chairman of the department, and then I also worked in assessment assistance. And in 2010, I got the opportunity to come back to North Hempstead.
Great, great. And that's when you were elected Receiver of Taxes?
Well, essentially I was appointed to fill a vacancy.
Okay.
The receiver, Rocco Iannarelli, stepped down in 2009 before the end of his term. So John Kamen and the town board appointed me, again, acting Receiver of Taxes in 2010. And I had to run in a special election in November of 2010 to fill the remainder of Rocco's term, which was only 1 year. So then I ran again for the full term in 2011. So I've been in the position again in North Hempstead since January of 2010.
Right. And when is your term up?
The term is up in December of 2015.
Gotcha.
So I have to run again for re-election this coming November.
Okay, interesting. All right, so Receiver of Taxes, some the residents might not know exactly, some of the duties and services that you might provide to them, so maybe you can fill us in on some of those.
Right, as Receiver of Taxes, I'm actually the sole trustee of the property tax collection, and it is a fiduciary responsibility. People hear the title and they think that I'm responsible for the entire property tax system, which I'm not. And it's confusing, and it's been confusing to our residents. But the property tax rolls are actually created by the various taxing jurisdictions who set budgets every year, and within those budgets there are tax levies. And those tax levies go to the Department of Assessment, and they take them and they take their assessment roll and they actually compute tax rates for each of the taxing jurisdictions. Once they do that, they also assign an assessed value to every property that's being taxed, and they create tax rolls. When those tax rolls are created, then they come to the town, and we actually, they come in an electronic file, and we print tax bills, and that our responsibility begins then. We mail out the tax bills, we collect the actual payments, we post the payments, and then once everything settles, we actually, disperse the money either to the school districts or to the town and the county, depending upon, which tax roll we're handling.
Right, right. So I know there's various exemptions out there for residents, whether it be the STAR program or seniors or veterans exemptions on property taxes. Maybe you can kind of talk a little bit about those and how residents can, obtain those.
Well, the two most common questions I get are either about exemptions or about how do I grieve my taxes. But those really are the two primary ways that people can reduce their tax bills and do something proactively about their tax bills. It's very important for everybody to get all the exemptions that they're entitled to under the law. STAR is the primary exemption for school taxes. It's the New York State School Property Tax Relief Program. It's been around since the mid-90s. Most people, over the years did register for Basic Star, and the requirements for that are they had to own the property, it had to be their primary residence. About 10 years ago, they put in another law that you couldn't earn more than $500,000 of adjusted gross income. But Star is very valuable. It's worth an average of $1,000 per residential property. It's for residents. And we have 65,000 residential properties. As of last year, 45,000 had Basic Star. So it was quite a large percentage of our property owners. The Enhanced Star is for seniors, and that's worth about double what the Basic Star is. It also reduces the school property tax bill. And in that case, though, it's based on age, income, residency, and ownership. So the person has to, or residents have to be 65. It's for seniors. It's based on a cap for adjusted gross income, which this past year was $83,300. And it also has to be the primary residence, just like the Basic Star. And the ownership, the owner of the property, which is the name on the deed, people have to be aware that for any exemption, that if they change their ownership for any reason, let's say they create a life estate or a trust, they have to go back to the Department of Assessment and let them know about it, because in many cases the county will remove the exemptions. So both exemptions are very valuable. We also, as you mentioned, we have veterans exemptions. Recently, within the last 5 or 6 years, they added a Cold War veterans exemption for veterans who served on active duty during periods that weren't wartime. They also have a new law where the veterans are going to be eligible to get the exemption on their school tax bill for the first time starting next year in districts where the schools have opted into it. So that'll be something new in the law.
That's good information. You said another one of the most frequent questions that you get is, how do I challenge my home assessment? So maybe you can give us some information on that.
Yeah, everybody who owns property does have an opportunity to challenge their assessment once a year. The assessment is the market value, or the value that the county assigns to the property. The grievance period, it's called the grievance period. Every year it's between January 2nd and March 1st, or the first day of business in March. And you have to actually file an application with the Nassau County Assessment Review Commission, which is a separate entity from the Department of Assessment. And they get to review all of these grievances. At this point in time, there's probably about 165,000 of them countywide.
Wow.
So they get from March 2nd to the following year in March to review all of them. But during the year, you're going to get a decision. So either the Assessment Review Commission will reduce your value or they won't. So if you agree with the decision, you could accept it. If you don't agree with it, if you think it should be reduced lower or you get denied, you're allowed to file an appeal. You have to wait till the following April to file an appeal. It's a long process, but most people now, who own property are aware that in order to make sure that they pay their fair share of taxes, that they really have to do this. You can do it on your own. And I have, seminars where I go out and I explain to people how to file these grievance applications on their own. And, in some cases, people do it on their own, and then on the appeal, they might hire somebody. But, we know that there's a big industry. The certiorari lawyers are very active in Nassau County. And, but in many cases, they'll charge people 50% or whatever they save them.
Right.
So, we show people how to do it themselves.
That's important, yeah. That saves residents a lot of money by being able to do it that way. So the town undertook some technological initiatives this year 311 is now online. We're streaming our town board meetings. I know the Receiver of Taxes office has also embraced technology in certain ways. Maybe you can talk about that.
Right. Well, we do have online tax payments. We put that in our flyer every year when we send out the school bills and the general tax bills. And that has been building. We get about 2,000 credit card payments a year online and about 5,000 e-check payments a year online. And it's relatively simple. I mean, you just go to the town website, you go to the Receiver of Taxes page, and you can find online payments. What people should know about online payments, if you're paying by credit card, it is a 2.5% fee. You have to pay the merchant fee. The town doesn't pay that. And if you're paying by e-check, it's just a $2 fee. Gotcha. So, and as I said, more and more people are doing it. And, we're very happy with the way the service is going.
Right. Sounds like a really convenient program for residents. So what should residents know if they buy or sell a house? Maybe they pay off their mortgage. I know they have to kind of inform your office of that.
Yeah, it's very important. Most people don't know this. They think that somehow it's all going to happen automatically after that closing. But if you buy a house in North Hempstead, you have to register with us. You have to let us know. You have to fill out a form. We have forms online that people could do this online and actually submit online. Or they could print out our change form, because it's change of owner. Fill it out. It's relatively simple and mail it to us. But you should be told, attorneys for buyers should tell their clients that they need to register with the tax office. And we need to know, if you have a mortgage and you have a bank, we need to know that information. We'll get it eventually, but there's going to be a lag between the closing and when we actually get the information. So it's important that people do that. More importantly, this is extremely important, if somebody satisfies their mortgage, they need to let us know. They get a letter when the mortgage satisfaction is filed at Nassau County, at the county clerk. So they'll get a letter from the clerk telling them to register with us if they're going to be responsible for paying their taxes going forward. They'll also get a letter from their bank once they satisfy the mortgage, telling them the same thing, that they have to register with us. If they don't, and they're responsible for the taxes, in all likelihood, they won't get a tax bill for 1 or 2 cycles.
When are the tax collection dates? For general and school taxes, maybe some residents might not even know that. Right.
Well, the tax cycle starts every year in October, actually. A new school bill goes out in October, and the bill is for, the current bill this year is for the 14-15 school year. Schools are on a fiduciary calendar. Then the general taxes go out in January. They're on an annual calendar. So the school tax bills go out in October. The first half is due by November 10th without penalty. Then the general tax bills go out in January. The first half is due by February 10th. Then the next cycle is the second half school. That is payable by April 1st, and it's due by May 10th without a penalty. And then the second half general is July 1st. It's due by August 10th. The schools, primarily the school taxes, and in many districts it includes the library. The general taxes are the county special districts, the town, and the town special districts. We don't bill the village taxes.
Right.
So as you know, there's 30 villages in North Hempstead.
Right.
We don't bill those.
Gotcha. So, we spoke about a lot of dates, a lot of different, information here. If anybody had any questions about anything that your office does, any of the tax collection dates, any of the seminars that you're having, how would they get that information the easiest way?
The easiest way, the best way is to call 311. When I first came to the tax office, the first day, literally the first day, the first week, I connected our office to 311. And it's a wonderful department. My department, the Receiver of Taxes office, is the second largest in terms of volume for 311. It's about 15,000 calls a year. So we answer every single call.
All right, so I'm going to wrap it up with one final question. What is your favorite thing about public service? What do you enjoy the most about it? What makes you want to get up in the morning and serve the people in North Hempstead?
Well, by far the best thing is helping people. And that's why we're here. That is really the mission of my department and of the town. But, you know, I tell my people that all the time, and they know that. And that's, you know, the people that I've picked and I've hired, I know that they're customer service oriented. Because the primary thing is to help people as much as possible. Point them in the right direction, give them the right information, keep them, you know, well informed, make sure they get everything that they're supposed to get, and direct them when it's, you know, when we can't do something about it, get them to the right people who can do something about it. But, you know, that's why I do what I do. I mean, I get the opportunity. I represent the entire town,
right.
And I'm actually the only department in the town of North Hempstead that encompasses the entire town. You know, many departments only do stuff in the unincorporated areas, but I get to represent everybody, and I get to interact with them all, and you know, that's why we're here. We're here to help people.
There you go, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Charlie. I learned a lot. I think there was a lot of good information that came out. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
Thanks, Charlie. All right, so thank you for watching Talk of the Town. As always, to find out more about your local elected officials or what is going on around town, log on to the town's official Facebook and Twitter pages. So see you again next time as we talk to another one of your government leaders in the town of North Hempstead. Have a great day.